Welcome back. We got my 74 F350 back in the shop. But the last time I showed this truck, we got it running and driving and somewhat stopping. So in this video, I would like to see if we can get it running better, because it does good for 45 seconds to a minute. When it has sat all night, when you first fire it up, it runs okay. But if I try to drive it very far, it seems like it's flooding out. So I'm pretty sure I have enough stuff in my leftover carb kit so that we can pull the carb off and fix that. And then we should probably change the oil, bleed the brakes, do a few things to the interior to make it a little bit more comfortable to drive. But yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do is, it has a Holley 4-barrel, 4160, I believe. Let's get this baby off of there and see. Yeah, vacuum secondary. Oh shoot. Look, that baby leaking right there. It's leaking right now. Where's it coming from? Huh. Anyways, so we need to figure that out. Why is it leaking fuel there? And that fuel don't smell very good, but I thought I put new fuel in it. Maybe it's pumping fuel out of a different tank and that's why it's running so bad. Huh, okay. Well, now we're gonna check that out too. So I wanna pull the carb off and go through it with what I have. And then we're gonna pull all the spark plug wires out, pull the cap and rotor off, and I'm just gonna clean those up and then sandblast the spark plugs. Change the oil, make sure this leak here isn't a vacuum leak, because that could be a vacuum leak, which wouldn't be good. Yeah, we're just gonna try to get this thing running and driving much better than it does. I have some ideas with it that I want to do, so I want to make sure this engine and transmission is worth it before I do that. So we're going to start with the carb. We're going to get to it. So I was digging and looking. I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, my mind is blank. This power valve. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can even see it. The power valve is all sorts of chewed up. It's got to be leaking fuel through it. So that would make sense. Also, the float on the secondaries was pretty high, because I thought it was leaking fuel out of these seals, which it shouldn't be, but it would make sense while it's sitting there running. If it's, because when you first fire it up, it runs great if it's been sitting for a while, but after that it doesn't do so. It just loads up after that. It just sits there and dumps fuel in. So I'm gonna go through here and clean all these ports, spray everything out, make sure they're all good and clean, with carb cleaner and air pressure. And then after that, we'll probably put a base gasket on it, because it looks terrible. I don't know, we'll see. I'd like to have something else on here, but for now, that'll work. So we're gonna clean this all up. All right, We got the carburetor all, what's the word for it? Homemade rebuild? Not really. Leftover rebuild, that's what we should call it. We got the leftover rebuild done, so we're gonna get the car put back on. And then after that, we can get the spark plugs out of this. All right, got the carb all on. Let's pop this bad girl out of here. I can't speak today. It's like I'm hungry or something. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. That looks way better than I thought it would. Well, the plugs don't look near as bad as I would have thought, but shoot, everything on this truck's been pretty decent. There should be no reason why it doesn't run good, unless if it just doesn't have very good compression. But I don't really believe that to be the case, because it idles. Like when I first fire it up, it idles real nice. It is definitely sooted up pretty bad. So I know people say that you shouldn't, I know people say you shouldn't sandblast spark plugs because it rounds off the edges, but for now, we're gonna sandblast them, and then if it starts running real good, I'll put brand new Carburetor wires, all that stuff on it. But I'm gonna take these and get them all sandblasted and put them back in there, and we'll fire this thing up and see how it runs. All right, it's all back together. Hose, new hoses, vacuum lines. I guess we should make sure all the plug wires didn't come undone. Cleaned up the spark plugs, put everything all back together. I think we're good to see. Yeah, I think we're good to see how this thing does. So I'm gonna fire it up. I guess I should open this door first. Hopefully I don't wake the neighbors up. It's dark. So, let's fire this thing up and see how she runs. I already turned it over and got fuel into the carb, but I haven't fired it up yet, so we'll see what happens. What was that? Oops, you guys hear that? Well, I am gonna bet I have a plug wire backwards somewhere, because it fired right up and idled, except, all right, well, this phone that I'm videoing with, I need the internet so I can look up a firing order and see which one of those I messed up. So I'll be right back. Okay. I think if I was staring at that thing right, that there's my problem. And you know, now that I'm looking at that, that looks a little more natural. All right. Now, let's see how it sounds this time. That's better. Much better. Sounds like it's running great. Oh, maybe not. Well, that's a bummer. Let's jumper this here. interesting. It's either out of fuel, or maybe the thing that I replaced, oh my gosh, my mind is blank again, is not working. No, it's got to be almost out of fuel. Let me see how much fuel it has, because maybe it's out of fuel. I'll be right back again. All right, it's next morning. I did a bunch of messing around with this thing, and finally 95% figured out what was up with it. So the first thing, well, after messing with the carb a little bit, I was thinking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it could be timing. So I threw a timing light on it, and rather than like 8 to 12, so I'm at 5,500 feet. I usually set the timing on these between 8 and 12 degrees. Before top dead center, it was about 13 degrees after top dead center. I was shocked it was even running that good, but that's why it was popping back through the carb. And then, let me show you something else. I was messing with trying to get the accelerator pump to look good down in the carburetor. But check this out. You see, there is where the fuel should come out to the accelerator pump, and that's where the fuel goes in. Let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, can you see that at all? See, every time fuel comes out here, it's pushing past. There's a little check ball in there. This is an older style that has a little round check ball and not a little rubber diaphragm that closes it off, so then the fuel can't go back into the bowl. It needs to all go to the accelerator pump, and it's not doing that. So I don't know any other way to fix it than to put another bowl on there. And honestly, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna put a different carburetor on it. I love these ones. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's got some abuse on it, that's for sure. Anyways, also the power valve. I checked vacuum on the engine, and it has a 6.5 power valve in it now. I have a 7.5 for it, and according to the vacuum gauge, I need at least a 10.5. So it runs so much better, but it does have a dead spot, which I'm sure is a mixture of the two, the accelerator pump and the power valve. So for now, I'm just going to, there's nothing I can do about the accelerator pump. I've looked through everything that I have, and I don't have any way to fix it, other than maybe that's what I'll do. I have a bigger shot accelerator pump. Like I could put the 50cc one in there, and maybe that will make up some of the difference. So maybe I'll try that. But I'm also gonna put the 7.5 power valve I have in there and see if we can get that better. So I'm gonna get back to it and get all that switched out, and we'll fire it up and see what happens. All right, check this out. So actually, let me tell you what I did first. So I put the 7.5 power valve back in it. I do believe it needs a 10.5, but we're gonna drive it and see. And then I put this 50cc shot accelerator pump on it, trying to see if it will push enough fuel past down the accelerator squirter, and not back up into the bowl like what it's doing. So basically I'm just trying to band-aid the problem. But check this out. Woo! Heck yeah. Oh, let me turn this off so you can hear me. It sounds much better. It sounds way happier. So now that part is good enough that I know that I can drive it, I'm gonna let this thing warm up for a minute, and then we can change the oil and do a fuel filter in it, an air filter, stuff like that, and then see if we can get the brakes to bleed so I can safely drive it. Because I have brakes, but there's not that much of them. It stops. It's safe. I've been driving it, but okay, sweet. That's super exciting. Massive step done. So I'm gonna let this thing warm up so we can change the oil. So got the oil changed, got a new air filter in it, got a fuel filter on it finally. Couldn't believe they didn't have a fuel filter anywhere on it. Well, I might want to move that a little. What else did I do? Oh, I checked the tranny fluid and the rear end, and they're all up to par. So now we're gonna bleed the brakes and see if we can get some brakes out of this thing. They work now, but they don't work the greatest, so we're gonna try to make them better. Oh, there's where all of our air is. Okay, again. Okay. All right, we got the brakes all bled, so let's hopefully they're good. Fire this baby up, see how they feel. Oh yeah, so much better. Yep, much better. Okay, I'm gonna take this thing for a drive and see how they feel then. But man, that's like before, they would go straight to the floor and it would stop like this far from the floor, but that's way better. So I'm gonna take it for a drive. We'll see how it feels then. Oh yeah. Locked up the front tire, just in the gravel, but we'll see what it does. This thing runs so much better. Carburetor will do. And then bleeding the brakes, man, this is like a whole new truck. Now if we can get the wobble to be out of the tires, they're a little uneven. Oh, look at that. So the next thing we need to do, now that we got it running so much better and stopping proper, is this window. It doesn't like to go up and down, as you can see. It's locked up. The regulator is no bueno. So I went out back to one of my parts cabs and hijacked this one. The teeth aren't in the best of shape there, but I think we can make it work, at least for now. This will be way better than what we got. So yeah, I am gonna tear the door panel apart, replace the regulator, and then lube everything up, and hopefully that fixes the window problem there. Yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna get started on this one, and then that one I'm just gonna pull it apart and lube everything up so then it works like it's supposed to, but I'm gonna get after it. Look, doesn't rattle so much anymore, and check it out. Very nice. And this side, I had to go dig around through my other trucks, but I found a door handle, and this one's not as smooth, but it really needs that regulator replaced like I did on that side. But for now, shoot, that'll work great. So next matter of business is two things. it has no mirrors. I need mirrors pretty bad. And I have some that would work good on here. They're kind of the bigger ones. But I'm pretty sure they're the same mounting as that on a different truck. And the truck that they're on, I definitely am not gonna use that style of mirror. I want the style of mirror for the other truck that mounts here. So I'm gonna go look through my trucks that have different mirrors on them and decide which one I'm gonna do. But I gotta put mirrors on it, and then we gotta address this. Look at that. Hello, how are you? Hello. Anyways, so all I'm gonna do on that for now, because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna exactly where my plan is going with this truck. So I'm just gonna find some tin and sheet metal, screw it down on there. So we're going to, I'm gonna go dig through all my mirrors and try to see what I got and what'll work. And yeah, I'll get back at you. Ta-da! Look at that. We got mirrors. Got 2 of them. Check that out. That's the style of mirror that would have originally been on this, that the gentleman that I got from sold. And they are massive, but they are perfect for this thing. When I sit in it, I can actually see down past the toolboxes. So super stoked about that. Yeah, oh, and see all the weight reduction? No more massive hole in the floor. Well, there's one there, it's just slightly covered up. But so much better, a lot better. So now I can actually drive this thing and see where I'm going and not put my hole in the floor, and have a little bit of power to actually get up and go. And yeah, this thing has been super fun. It was sitting for 19 years, and now we got it running, driving, and hopefully I'm gonna tow some cars to a drag race very soon. But yeah, anyways, keep an eye out for this truck. There's lots more coming on it as we turn it into a super awesome modern twist of a classic ramp truck. That's what I'm gonna do with it, is I'm gonna modify this bed that's on it, / build a new one, and turn this thing into a ramp truck. I think it's gonna be super awesome. I got plenty of ideas on which way I'm gonna go, but I'm for sure turning into a ramp truck. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks again.